Okay, I think we are now working on live on YouTube, so this should just, all right, so done. Let's get back over here. Live on YouTube, so this should just myself here. All right, so done. All right, I think I got the tech figured out. So welcome everyone to tonight's call, Thursday with Valerie Acosta, double IMD $1 million earner. So for those of you who are on Zoom, you may not know, or you may, I started a blog about 3 years ago called Tea with V, and then it switched into a podcast. And recently I just started a video podcast on YouTube. So since I originally was going to make this video just for our team, OBT, Team No Sleep, I figured, let me make this available for my social media following, as well as I feel like what this topic is going to speak about pertains to all sorts of businesses. I have different type of followers who have their own business. They have different network marketing companies. And honestly, I feel like this pertains to even your work environment. So wherever it is that you work, definitely pay attention to why I feel, there's a huge impact on your personal appearance for me when it comes to business, right? So if you are assuming that I'm gonna get on this call and speak on, well, we need to start wearing suits, or no, that's definitely not the route I'm going. That's not what I'm going to talk about. But I think I'm just gonna bring up some things that honestly, some people will say it's pretty common sense, but I don't think, obviously being in the network marketing industry, the sales industry for the past decade, I've become aware that not many people are conscious of the little small things that make a big impact. Now, it sucks, and I know sometimes we don't want to think that that matters. You're like, I'm educated, I'm this, I'm that. Like, don't worry about how I look. Unfortunately, it does matter, because your first impression is a big deal. They don't know your personality, they don't know your background, they don't know anything like that. So the first impression is a big deal. So what happens first? So, consciously or subconsciously, people make judgment from the first time they look at you, right away. And this is just the world we live in, that will never change. So I just want to speak on this and just share some, I guess, pointers on things that we can continue to work on. If you're already doing all this, great. And I'm speaking from experience. Some things that I've seen, some things that I've done myself have switched up, and what has helped me, in my business to get me to where I am today, right? So the first one is hygiene. Again, I think it's like common sense, right? Like, yes, Valerie, I shower daily. Yes, I brush my teeth in the morning, et cetera, et cetera. But sometimes it's not common where, and I'll give you a perfect example, right? So in our line of business of network marketing, specifically our business, with World Ventures, we're doing meetings, whether it be one-on-ones, group meetings. So we're constantly around people. For me, all my meetings were in the evening. When I wouldn't go home, I would, go set up a meeting right after work. And, I had a long day. I'm someone who perspires more than I should. I've gotten better. But as I was younger, it was just, and I was conscious of that. So I always took baby wipes with me and had deodorant. Like, I used to clean myself up before I used to go meet up with anybody. It was just a personal thing. And again, sometimes people aren't aware. And I think what made me conscious of it is because I had friends growing up that weren't even allowed to wear deodorant. And it was just part of their religion. But it was like, is there something else you can put on? And they had become so accustomed to that, they wouldn't even smell themselves, So sometimes people aren't even aware of something simple like that, where it's like, if you become accustomed to that, it doesn't make any difference to you. So just be mindful of that, Make sure you carry, what do you call that? Oh my God, to go ahead, what mouthwash, carry a small mouthwash. That's another thing. My husband's big on that. Wherever he carries like mouthwash, if it's not gum, obviously gum, you're not gonna walk into the presentation or do a meeting chewing gum. So I'm all for, before you go meet with someone, go do anything, meet with your client. You're not gonna be brushing your teeth, that's cool. Use mouthwash in the bathroom real quick, spit it out, and it's all good. Oh, thank you. But it's simple things like that. And I've been guilty of, going to meet with someone at a pizza shop, having garlic bread, and afterwards, like, excuse my breath. And it's all good when you're meeting with, Listerine strips. Yes, that's a good one too, Ariel. Thank you. Like, those are bomb. So I'm not big on gum. Like I said, I love chewing gum, but for instances like that where it's just gonna be quick, you're right, Ariel. Thank you for that. Those little strips make all the difference. So it doesn't matter if you're up to par with everything else, but the minute you speak to me, and it's like, and again, I'm sure I've been guilty at some points where I don't even notice it myself, and I'm like, oh my God, that was bad. I hope. And it doesn't matter that you're meeting with your cousin, because again, in our line of business, you're in the beginning, you're meeting with people that you're cool with, so in your head, you're thinking like, oh, I'm just gonna show up like whatever. No, even those little differences make an impact in your sale. Believe it or not, those little things make an impact. So again, ladies and gentlemen, just be mindful of those simple things of, your hygiene. Make sure you're taking care of that. Just obviously every day, even if you're not, meeting with someone, however, make sure you're mindful of it. Definitely when you're about to go meet with a prospect, attend a travel party, things like that, be mindful of it. And for those of you who are tuning in and you have your own line of business and it doesn't pertain to necessarily network marketing, again, this goes for you too. Ladies, gentlemen, we all have like long days if we're working long hours. There's some people who don't perspire like much. It's not a big deal. There's some who do. And that's why I said, if you know your body, just be mindful of that. Carry some, wipes, some deodorant, carry it on the side, and touch up. And this is another thing. Don't do too much of the perfume and the cologne, because that can be overwhelming as well. Like, I'm good with a few sprays. If you get a good brand, all you need is a good, few sprays and it'll last. But don't try to cover up the bad scent, putting a whole bunch of things, or a bunch of perfume or cologne, because that's overwhelming as well. Nobody likes to smell too much of anything. So mindful of hygiene. So that's number one. The next one is grooming, right? So during this quarantine time, the last 4 months, if those of you who know me, asthma trigger, yes. For those of you who know me as Valerie with the bun. Like, that is my go-to hairstyle forever. To me, it's easy. It looks tidy, like it's done. And now during this quarantine life, like, I just leave my hair loose. Like, this is me, but again, it's still tidy. It's not, I'm not gonna go and share or do a video or meet with someone and my hair is like this, okay? Because that's how I wake up, to be honest. So for me, the bigger, the better. I love big hair. I love women with big hair. So I'm all about that. But you can have big hair and be tight, and if you do have your hair up, make sure it's combed, good. Carry a little comb with you. Make sure you have your little baby hairs covered. I'm a toothbrush person. When I do my buns, like, my daughter always laughs and she's like, I can't believe you use a toothbrush. I know they have actual brushes now for baby hairs, but I still do sometimes, toothbrushes, to tidy up the little hairs. So that's the grooming, for the ladies. And for the gentlemen, clean cut. It doesn't mean you need to have a, what is it, a fade or number two, whatever you guys do, whatever your hairstyle is, it's cool. Just make it clean, a shape up. You have long hair, keep it nicely loose. If you have dreads, a perfect example of someone who wears their hair nicely and they have dreads is Josh Valentine. Like, his hair always looks great. And it's always tight. And he wears it loose, it looks good. He wears it up, nicely puts up, it looks good. So those are examples, because sometimes people are like, oh, what do you mean? Like, I'm not talking about you have to have a specific hairstyle. Be who you are, but tidy this up when you're meeting with people. Again, it makes a big difference. Gentlemen, if you wear do-rags because you want your waves or for whatever reason you wear it, do not walk into a meeting with a do-rag on. Please do not do that. I don't care if you need a haircut, you're better off wearing a hat than walking in with a do-rag. You should not be walking into a meeting with a do-rag. You understand? Yes, I've constantly said this, and I don't like to sound like a mom sometimes at meetings, you know, where I'll be like, I think you should, you know, because at the end of the day, this is your business, you know? So I shouldn't feel like I have to mother you and be like, hey, you know, X, Y, and Z, you should take your do-rag off. However, if you're coming into my presentation that I'm leading, I will say something, because now you are representing me. We're all representing each other. So we do have to be mindful of that. So if you do host, you know, meetings and you have certain people and then you're asking that much, it's like, I just asked, please don't wear do-rags. Everyone should, you know, definitely say, I'm cool with that. So gentlemen, please do not wear do-rags when you're about to meet with someone. Now, you do have to be aware of your audience. And this is something that I want to speak on from my experience. When we got started 10 years ago, the leaders around us were a little older, and they kind of told us we need to, you know, like dress up, like kind of corporate, like wear a button down, slacks, things like that. And mind you, I had to do that for work, you know? My husband wore suits all day, every day. He was a hotel manager, that's what he did. He didn't want to do it and wear it again after work, but this is what was told. So we're like, okay, let's do that. And it just didn't feel good, because we're like, you know, here we are talking to people that we know and we grew up with. And honestly, I don't trust people that come with a briefcase, you know, 8 p.m. to a meeting talking about X, Y, and Z, you know? So we felt like, you know, let's be more authentic to who we are and who we are around, you know, what our audience is like. And our audience were us, you know, we were kind of like a mirror, you know? It's like, okay, so we took off the, you know, my husband wasn't hiding his tattoos anymore. You know, we didn't feel like we had to wear suits or anything like that. We just took our own spin on it. And however we dressed outside of work is how we would show up to presentations, you know? So, you know, we had a whole big thing when we started creating the Team No Sleep apparel. So sweaters, you know, crew necks, things like that. And we would just show up. But again, it was always clean cut. Clean, 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 clean. So again, I'm not telling you to come in and wearing a suit. If that's your style, cool. You know, if it's authentic and it's who you like to be, cool, do it. Don't switch it over. You know, now don't start wearing hoodies because, you know, this is what we did in the beginning. It just worked with the audience that we were in. And as time passed, we started to realize, okay, if we're gonna elevate and go from a local business to a global business, we need to attract everyone, you know? So for me, especially as a female, and this is to my ladies, there's certain things that I am aware of, even though right now the whole, you know, casual active wear is in and trending. You know, guys can get away more with the Nike sweats and, you know, a nice t-shirt and appearing that way. As a female, I personally feel like you're just not looked as, not even just so much professional, but how serious are you about your business when you show up like that? So I never once wore sweats to meet up with someone, ever. That wasn't my style. I'm not showing up with sweats to meet with someone. So yeah, I was fine with sneakers, but I was back then I was way more of a heels person because I was always at work. And I would wear jeans, etc. If I did wear a hoodie, I always made it trendy. Like, again, made it me, what felt comfortable for me. But I'm like, I'm not walking around with sweats to go meet with a client. I don't care who they are. It just wasn't my style. Now, if you're meeting with your sister and stuff like that, where it's just more of a convenience thing, that's cool. But now if you get your sister's having a meeting for all her friends and you're showing up, you know, in sweats and a t-shirt, baggy t-shirt with slippers, no. Me, and again, put yourself in the other shoe. If I walk in and that's the person who's presenting to me, I'm already judging off that. I'm like, okay, I want to see what it is that you have to offer, because right now, from what I'm seeing, you're not really someone I think that I would want to follow. Now, is that always the instance? Can people change their minds once they, you know, see your personality, your passion? Yes, and I'll speak a little bit on that. But again, first impression, these are the things that matter. So that was me getting into just the clothing aspect of it. Don't feel like you need to spend, you know, a bunch of money to have a certain type of look, certain type of clothes. Just clean, wrinkle free. This is another thing. Be wrinkle free. It doesn't cost much to get an iron, and make sure you iron that shirt. And this goes for Zoom as well, okay? I don't care if you're working from home. There's no reason why you should be wearing wrinkled shirts on a Zoom. I'm sorry, no, okay? My daughter we've been again home for a few months. She's used to iron her clothes in the morning when she was at school. Now we're home, so she's like, I refuse to let them be in their pajamas all day. That's a rule here. You cannot be in your pajamas all day. Even if you're not going anywhere, you cannot be in your pajamas. Put on some house clothes, you know, that's fine. But even with her house clothes, I've told her she has to iron her shirt. She's not going to be walking around wrinkled in the house. Oh, but no one's going to see me. It doesn't matter, because I want her to train that this is going to be normal for her in the future. It's like, this is how I look. This is how I'm supposed to be. So you ask her every day, weekends included, she wakes up, if she's gonna wear a shirt that's wrinkled, she has to iron it, even if she's only gonna be in the living room. So please, wrinkle free, clean. If you're just gonna wear a white t-shirt, that's fine. You're just gonna wear a black t-shirt, plain, that's fine. Just make it wrinkle free, please. It's hard for you to expect people to respect you if it looks like you don't even respect yourself. Okay, so this is why I definitely, like I said, I wanted us to have this topic, you know, within our group, and obviously share amongst other, because it's these little things that make the biggest difference. Not everyone is in for like, okay, where's Stu, like I stated before, but it's these little things that make a big difference in your business. Again, you know, right now we've been Zooming, but eventually we will get back to normal life. But like, even right now, even though we're Zooming, I don't care if you're doing a presentation at 9 in the morning. If that's you, cool. Look like you're up, you know what I mean? Don't show up at a Zoom. I don't care who it is you're showing to, with a shower cap on. Like, look tidy, wear a hat. I've done plenty of Zooms with a hat on, because my hair is crazy. I had just worked out or did something, I will put a hat on. You know, that's actually right now a great way to market your team, you know, your brand. You know, I'll wear a World Ventures logo hat. I'll wear, you know, I like Nikes are just comfortable hats. I'll wear a lot of Team No Sleep hats. That's a great way of branding. And again, it's you, but you're doing it in a clean fashion. So be conscious of that. And even before you're going to sit with a client or a prospect, even through Zoom, I'm big on, if you feel good, your confidence goes up. So if you have to dress up at home, like, I'm not going anywhere, and I put on some lipstick, yes. I put on some mascara, yes, because I know I'm about to speak. Not only I'm going to speak about the importance of appearance in business. Now, how do I look? I would have, actually, what I had considered doing was showing up right now with like a wrinkled, oversized t-shirt with my hair literally like this, and then just going to talk to you and see what you guys would have even been paying attention immediately. You'd be like, is this a joke? Like, what's going on here? But this is sometimes how people are not, and I've seen it. I've been in Zoom before where I'm like, listen, if you don't show your video. If you're just being part of a group thing, just don't show your video. If you're gonna be like all over the place, like, be mindful of these small things, right? Now, another important thing after you make your first appearance, obviously, is your body language. Smiling doesn't come natural to me. For those of you who know me, it does not come natural to me. It's just who I am. I've gotten better through the years. Like, for example, my mother is the sweetest, most smiley person like ever. People love her when they meet her. I've just never been that way. I think I got it from my grandma. But obviously building this business, I became conscious of that. You know, I've always had this serious face. So if you're going to start a Zoom and you're just like, what's up, guys? My name is Valeria Acosta. You're about to check out something really cool. And, you know, yeah, so 10 years versus, good evening. Welcome to my call. This is Valeria Acosta, double IMD. Today, there's a huge difference in those two. Huge. So these are the body language that you give, and start off with a smile. I'm not telling you to smile throughout your whole, presentation, because that is not me. I speak with my hands, sometimes my eyes, like I show, it's just who I am. But I don't care, what color you are. If you're not familiar with the colors, just don't pay mind. Red, green, yellow, etc. Smile in the beginning. This is an inviting process. I am born and raised in Brooklyn, New York. I think that's a reason. And plus I'm a Scorpio. I don't know if it's that combination that has made me like just this face, but I've learned to acknowledge it and notice that, especially when I'm out and I know I'm gonna meet people and network and stuff. I'm conscious of it. Like, just smile, because even though I'm in my head, I'm smiling, I feel good, my face isn't showing that. So smile. When you're gonna speak to someone, smile. Dudes, guys, gentlemen, it's not a bad thing to smile. You're not less tough if you don't smile. Smile, energy. It's what attracts people to even start paying attention, right? Don't be sluggish, right? You can't do a presentation like this. No. This is another thing my mom was always teaching me. Do not be hunchback, right? So sit up. So I saw someone write that, sit up. If you're like this, no, sit up. When you're walking to a presentation, when you're walking to a room, stand up and, again, arch your back. Ladies and gentlemen, and I am guilty of this growing up. My mom used to always tell me, like, you always look so mean. That's when she's like, straighten your back. And she actually was the one who told me, start wearing more heels. That'll help you with your posture. And it definitely has. So even through Zoom, pay attention to that. Sit up. If you have a problem with your posture, there's literally something on Amazon that you can literally wear under your clothes. You have no choice. You can't even be like that because it hurts you. It's like a band. So it forces you to stay like that. Start wearing that under your clothes. Wear that during your presentation if you're someone who suffers from that. So you have, no choice. Okay, you see, you have one. I have one as well, because I just have become conscious of that. And even it's just better for you physically. Like, as you get older, you've seen older people that are just like, this is because of the hunching that they do. So be mindful of that. Again, obviously in person, but even when you're doing your Zooms. Energy, body language, smiling, not constantly, when you're meeting someone in person, look at them in their eyes, don't look to the side all the time. Don't look at your feet. How would you feel if right now I'm talking and I'm just like, yeah, so no. Practice makes perfect. I'm not telling you, ladies and gents, that you're gonna get this, right off the bat, but this is what starts happening with little things that I started noticing, even about myself, that I had to start switching up. And record yourself doing a presentation, record yourself. Maybe you'll become conscious of your energy, how much you're smiling, things like that, and you'll start talking. People start to say, oh, well, if you start recording yourself, like, you're not being very authentic. Yes, you are. You're just becoming a better version of you. Simple, a better version of you. Now, for those of you who are, have more of the free spirit, eccentric style, you have, colored hair and piercings, that's cool. Embrace it. That's who you are. You have, a market, you have a community of people that, that's who you gravitate to. But again, you have to be okay that in certain parts of the world, certain parts of even the States, you might not be the most appealing where people will even want to hear you out business wise. And if you're cool with that, if you're like, no, listen, I'm embracing, this is who I am, this is how I like to dress, I like to, do all that kind of stuff, cool. If it's working for you, continue. However, you do have to be mindful of what it is that you're attracting. For me, I'm big on don't think local, think global, worldwide money. You want worldwide customers, then you have to appeal to everyone. And it's not being fake about it. Is again, I feel like as long as you're authentic to who you are and you're confident in that, so if I had blue hair right now, I'll be rocking my blue hair and people will love me for it. I think there was actually someone on our team that we called like Blue, and she rocked it all the time. We loved it because she was confident and authentic to herself. So that's what comes down to it. It's just being, happy with yourself. And I'm big on doing these little tweaks that will make you feel good right before you're about to meet with a prospect. And, your education, your status, all these things matter, obviously, but it's that first impression that usually makes or breaks a deal from the minute people, set eyes on you. So I just want you to be mindful of that. Again, your hygiene, grooming, clean clothes, and obviously your attitude. But above all, it's the confidence you exude. And for me, I feel like everyone's confidence grows once they hit these pillars, are doing their part to make sure their hygiene is on point, their grooming is on point, their clothes is on point. You automatically start to feel better about yourself. Not everyone starts off, especially if you've never done any type of sales, confident off the back where you can, just sell anything. It doesn't matter how much you like it, it's something new to you. But I feel like when you feel good about yourself, that little confidence starts to build. And once you actually showcase to people the value that you're bringing to them, smiling about it and being excited about what it is you're going to share with them, it's long game from there. Because like I said, you can have all the pillars, you can smell good, look good, all that kind of things, but if your energy is off, we had a team call yesterday, and Marco said that he knows when people are trash. As far as prospects, is because of the way they respond. But I've learned to do my best to even be respectful until the point where I get an answer. So I remember one time I was sharing the presentation, I'm talking, and again, this is why. So the girls are watching the presentation the whole time, serious game, and just like, but paying attention, but just serious. I'm like, oh my God, I was literally about to close. Like, you know what, this isn't for you. I continued, and literally like the last minute, all of a sudden I saw like this. And I was like, all right, so you ready to get started? Yes or no? Oh, I'm in, I love this. It's like, well, you sure didn't show it, So sometimes people's aura is just off. But like I said, sometimes if they are being a little disrespectful, where they're not paying attention or looking, then I'm quick to just say, maybe this is not for you, and I will take it away. But don't judge someone if they're just paying attention, overthinking, but actually watching you, maybe not smiling. Maybe they're just in their head right now, and just do your best to be polite, smile, and just get an answer. And it's times like that where I say I'm aware, because if I would have closed the laptop on her without even getting an answer, she was being, in my head, rude because she didn't even seem excited. And I thought everyone should be excited when they see this, but she was paying attention. She was, looking at everything I was sharing with her, but she just wasn't excited during the time. It was just her personality. But, it's what I've come across while building this business. So that's it, ladies and gents. That's really the point that I wanted to make across. Obviously in our business, but like I said, even in your workplace, there's a bit, like, I know when I used to go to interviews, I used to wear the nicest suits, like, because I always knew, like, those little things matter. As much as we may hate it sometimes, it matters. So just be aware and conscious of it. And as we continue to obviously build Zoom, but things are opening up and we're back physically, you know, showing people, having events, make sure that you teach your team to be aware of that as well. So I love talking to you guys. We're gonna make this a weekly thing. I'm not sure, I'll do my best to open it up with my Tea with V on YouTube as well, and it'll stay recorded there. So for those of you who may want to share this and they didn't get, your teammates who didn't get a chance to get on board now, you can send them to my YouTube page and it'll be recorded on there. So that was Thursday. I appreciate all of you. I don't think we have any questions. This is funny. Holding your stomach in naturally makes your back straighten. I hear that. And hopefully that'll give me abs as well, right? But no questions. I'm just going through the comments. Okay, great. Well, thank you everyone for tuning in. We will be together again next week. If you want to send me some topics, business topics, something that relates to, you know, how we can, you know, grow and help you grow in your career here, let me know, and we'll tune in next week. So have a great night and God bless. Ciao.